Coming up in the next half hour of local news on Arizona PBS. On Cronkite News, thousands rally to support President Trump as President-elect Joe Biden moves forward with transition plans. And on Break It Down, the good and not so good eating habits being picked up during the pandemic.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Hospice of the Valley, medical, social, and spiritual care for patients nearing end of life, and support for their families. A not-for-profit community hospice. HOV.org.
Utilities don't like competition. They own your electricity. It's theirs.
This is a big threat.
They want to stop competition from solar.
I think that's just the way it has been.
That's the worst explanation.
Tonight at 9 on Arizona PBS.
Just like our travels, PBS has given us a broader view of the world.
And that is why Larry and I have agreed to include our PBS station in my will.
For more information about including Arizona PBS in your future plans, visit azpbs.org/giving.
It's important to keep PBS alive, and this is one way that we can do our share.
Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
The Persian Room. Travel to another world, to a land of exotic aromas and period decor for a fine dining experience. The Persian Room in North Scottsdale on Scottsdale Road, one light north of Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard. Gourmet exotic cuisine at its best.
I'm Susan Linkus of the Linkus Group, a fee-based registered investment advisor specializing in financial planning, investment management, insurance strategies, and more. LinkusGroup.com, investing for life.
The COVID-19 vaccine is showing a high success rate. We take a look at how it could be distributed once approved.
4 more years! 4 more years!
Plus, a different tone in D.C. this weekend as Trump supporters took to the streets in the Million MAGA March.
And on Break It Down, the COVID-15 is real, how the pandemic has changed our eating habits later this half hour.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Mackenzie Allen-Charmley.
And I'm Dylan McKim. Thank you for joining us. Arizona's top health official is warning of a surge in coronavirus cases. Although the number of hospitalizations and deaths have not increased much, Department of Health Services Director Dr. Kara Christ says that may not last very long. So far, the state now has seen more than 276,000 cases of COVID-19 and more than 6,000 related deaths. As for the United States, coronavirus cases have passed the 11 million mark, and deaths are almost up to 250,000. These numbers from Johns Hopkins University mean cases have advanced by 1 million in less than a week. Hospitalizations are at a record high as well, far beyond the peak we saw in the spring.
Meanwhile, a second COVID-19 vaccine has proved over 90% effective. Cronkite News reporter Tyler Mannion looks into how Arizona might distribute it.
Moderna announced today that its coronavirus vaccine was 94.5% effective at preventing the disease during clinical trial. This comes just a week after Pfizer announced similar results, but Moderna's comes with specific advantages for mass distribution.
We can also, and we validated, keep the vaccine under refrigeration conditions, that is 2 to 8 degrees centigrade, for up to 30 days. That is a massive enablement to be able to distribute much more broadly and much more easily.
The Pfizer vaccine must be kept at minus 94 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. So Moderna's breakthrough with the higher storage temperature makes it much easier to transport. The plan to distribute these vaccines will be up to each individual state. And in Arizona, there are still a few steps to go to until distribution.
Look at the phase 3 data, see what's happening within that data, see what the FDA says about the safety and effectiveness of the vaccine, see what CDC says about the prioritization of the groups. And at that point, if the legwork has been done in terms of the logistics that need to happen inside the state for a mass vaccination campaign, then you could put those pieces together and then begin vaccinating some of those high-risk, high-priority populations.
Humboldt confirmed there is a group working on how the vaccines will be distributed, but said that those plans cannot be finalized until all of those other steps have been completed. In the studio, Tyler Mannion, Cronkite News.
The Navajo Nation is stepping up precautions as cases of COVID-19 spike by reinstating a stay-at-home lockdown for the entire community. The executive order that went into effect today also calls for schools to implement online learning only, and gas stations, grocery stores, and food establishments will only be open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. The coronavirus has affected 29 communities throughout the Navajo Nation, which spans across parts of Arizona, New Mexico, and Utah.
Right now, the future of 3 winter high school sports are in limbo here in Arizona due to COVID-19. Today, the Arizona Interscholastic Association, or AIA, met to discuss the options. Sean Rice is standing by now to explain the steps being taken to ensure safety. Sean.
After deciding to go ahead with fall sports in August, the Arizona Interscholastic Association will vote on whether to delay the start of their winter sports season to January 2021 in response to the rising number of COVID-19 cases right here in Arizona. If so, basketball, which is an indoor sport, will have protocols to protect their athletes from the coronavirus. First, players and coaches must wash and/or sanitize their hands before and after games, and at minimum each time they move to a new location, like from the locker room to the court. Next, players and coaches must maintain a social distance of 6 feet while on the sidelines and on the court. As for everyone on the benches, they must wear a face covering at all times. And lastly, there will be no pre- and post-game handshakes between the teams. Seth Polanski, the sports information coordinator for the AIA, spoke with Cronkite News about the protocols in place.
Basketball is in the same category as volleyball as far from the National Federation standpoint, whereas it's a moderate contact sport. So with it being indoor is not as much of a concern with us as being how much contact there is between the athletes and how much interaction there is between bench personnel and other personnel within the gym. So we do have guidelines set up by our Sports Medicine Advisory Committee in a document we keep on our website at all times about kind of the metrics you need to have to play a moderate sport, what restrictions you may have to start practice as far as not sharing balls or other equipment when you first start conditioning, things like that, which we have available.
Seating for spectators and students will be distanced from the players and benches, and all spectators will be encouraged to maintain social distancing while attending the game. AAA Executive Director David Hines will meet with the Arizona health officials on Wednesday to discuss the state's coronavirus metrics and how to move forward with their winter sports season in a safe manner. In the broadcast center, Sean Rice, Cronkite News.
Our neighbors on the West Coast are taking extra precautions to keep people safe during the typically busy travel time as COVID-19 cases continue to climb. California, Washington, and Oregon issuing a joint travel advisory urging their residents to avoid out-of-state travel during the Thanksgiving holiday. If people do choose to leave the region, state officials are asking them to quarantine for 14 days once they return. They're also asking people to rethink their holiday plans by not gathering in large groups. To help stop the spread of coronavirus, here's Washington Governor Jay Inslee.
We are today in a more dangerous position than we were in March. I know it isn't easy. I share your frustration that we are back facing another wave.
Right now, COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations are soaring, with many states breaking daily records. Experts say the holiday recommendations are crucial as we approach the busy Thanksgiving travel period, with some warning other measures may be on the way.
It's been almost 2 weeks, but all of the 3.4 million ballots cast this year have finally been counted. And while President Donald Trump tightened the gap with President-elect Joe Biden, he still came up 10,457 votes short. But Trump supporters flocked to Washington this weekend, as Cronkite News' Tina Giuliano reports.
Last week, Biden supporters filled the streets of Washington, D.C. This week, it was the Trump supporters' turn.
4 more years! 4 more!
Some called it the Million MAGA March, and others called it the March for Trump.
USA!
No matter the name, the streets of downtown D.C. were full of people in support of the same thing.
Trump won! Trump won! Trump won!
One of those was Tucson resident Chelsea Pajak.
I wanted to come out to show my president that I appreciate him, that I support him, and that I support his cause in pursuing a true and fair election.
Pajak and her dad flew to D.C. from Tucson after finding out about the march last week.
My daughter called, probably been maybe 4 days ago or so, and said, "Dad, there's something happening in D.C. and we need to go out and support our president."
The crowds marched to the Supreme Court, where people made speeches and cheered in support of the president, 1 week after Joe Biden was declared the winner. Trump has not conceded and continues to tweet unsupported claims about voting irregularities. Wald Billig said he wasn't always a Trump fan.
But as I started to study more his policies and the things that he'd fought for our country, they were good for my family, my business.
The rally was not without some tension between sides as counter-protesters set up shop next to the Supreme Court. But a heavy police presence at the event kept conflict limited to shouting.
Respect other people's beliefs, especially when we can have civil discourse. And if that doesn't happen, I don't want to involve myself.
But Pajak doesn't think it will have an immediate impact.
Will become president? No. To be realistic, no, I don't think that us being here and our presence will just flip an election.
But Pajak said the rally gives her hope.
The level of camaraderie we've felt can change the future.
Wald Billig said he will accept the outcome, whatever it is, until the next election.
And if it's President Trump, great. If it's Joe Biden, well, support him and hope for him and encourage him to do what's right and try to vote him out of office in 4 years.
USA! USA!
This rally may have lasted for a day, but the fight goes on, with lawsuits and ballot recounts happening across the country. In Washington, Tina Giuliano, Cronkite News.
While the day-long rally was boisterous, it was largely peaceful. But when the event ended and the sun went down, there were reports of sporadic clashes around D.C. Metropolitan Police reported 23 arrests over the weekend related to political rallies.
Coming up next on Cronkite News, Prop 207 passed, legalizing marijuana in Arizona. So what's next for businesses and consumers? And how soon could people be able to purchase legal pot?
Plus, it's time to get out and enjoy the cooler fall temperatures here in the valley. When we come back, we'll tell you where you can go tomorrow to adventure outdoors for free.
The weather around Phoenix is just beautiful today. Let's take a look at the weather around the valley.
Thank you for joining us for the special edition of Cronkite News. Here are the top stories that we're tracking today at noon.
Some of the best players for their program.
Here we go. Lights up. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
The second attempt proved to be the right one for those who supported Proposition 207, which legalized recreational marijuana here in Arizona. It passed with 60% of the vote. Cronkite News reporter Taylor Tassler-Oatley looked into what the next steps are for businesses and consumers.
Legalizing marijuana was on the ballot in 2016. That proposition failed.
This time, the movement was successful, but there are still some stops to go until anyone can buy pot without a medical card. Just because the proposition has passed doesn't mean that marijuana is immediately legal. There are a few phases to go through before the end goal is met. Chad Campbell, Senior Vice President of Strategies 360, explains once Governor Ducey makes his proclamation that the election is official,
the use of the product is no longer illegal, for personal possession at least. The home grow part is legal. But the retail operations don't really start until a little bit later on because of the licensing process that needs to be set up, the testing requirements, some of those things. That'll take a few months.
Campbell says that they created this proposition around the medical dispensaries and that Arizona voters should expect to see them to be the first ones to roll out recreational use as long as they are on good standing with the state. Raul Molina, Chief Operations Officer at the Mint Dispensary, says he does not anticipate any legal issues when transitioning to recreational use.
Us at the Mint, we have none. Every inspection we've had with the state has been incredible. We have a great relationship with them. The requirement from the state in order to be able to transition from medical direct or to do both is going to be that you have a license in good standing. We have a license in great standing.
Smoke Wallen, the CEO of Vertical Wellness, says from his experience in California, Arizona may face issues with local communities.
I think they have a similar provision, which is local option. So the local communities can say, I don't want a dispensary in my town or in my neighborhood.
Which Wallen says slows things down in terms of seeing stores open up. Molina mentioned that he does not anticipate a price hike with marijuana becoming recreational, but does anticipate there to be fewer deals for customers. He talks about what he's seen in Michigan, where marijuana has been legalized for about a year.
And what I've seen out here is that there's not as many specials. The prices aren't necessarily a lot higher, but you're not getting all the buy one, get one frees. You're not getting, walk in and get a joint just for free.
The passing of Prop 207 also decriminalized marijuana and will expunge felony charges for possession. A week ago, the Maricopa County Attorney's Office said they would begin dismissing all pending and unfiled charges. The office also stated, instead of continuing to spend resources on these cases, this office will begin implementing the will of the voters immediately. Arizona voters can expect to buy recreational marijuana sometime next year. In the Broadcast Center, Taylor Tasser-Oatley, Cronkite News.
Maricopa County's regional parks will be free tomorrow for people who want to get out and enjoy the great outdoors. That's because tomorrow is that's the county's Take a Hike Day. The free park day includes over 120,000 acres of parkland and 600 miles of trails at county-run regional parks like Lake Pleasant and White Tanks. The unofficial holiday allows visitors to avoid paying the $7 per vehicle entrance fee.
More people are getting a break from the craziness of 2020. When we come back, we'll show you their out-of-this-world exit. Stick around.
Here we go. Whoa.
As artists, we conduct our educations in public. You can never know whether it's going to be a success. One just has to risk it.
It's you and the work and the place. It's a very particular relationship.
Here's our lens. Tell us what you think.
Friday night at 9 on Arizona PBS.
I'm Judy Woodruff, anchor and managing editor of the PBS NewsHour. The journalists of tomorrow face a fast-changing media landscape, but quality news remains vitally important to our communities, our country, and our world. At ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, students learn solid, reliable reporting, holding the powerful accountable, and rebuilding the public's trust. The Cronkite School and Arizona PBS, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Every day I wake up, my first thought is, how can I serve this community?
The biggest hurdle was not taking PTSD personally.
Would you welcome, please, the amazing.
Everybody that watches me, they say that I am the greatest that they've ever seen.
And finally tonight, a light at the end of the year 2020 tunnel. SpaceX and NASA launching 4 astronauts into space last night to work on the International Space Station for 6 months. The rocket took off from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida just before 7:30 local time. It's the first fully operational mission from the Crew Dragon spacecraft. The 4 astronauts on board, 3 from NASA and 1 from Japan's space agency, are set to dock at the ISS late tonight. The crew features a diverse group of astronauts, including pilot Victor Glover, who will be the first black astronaut to join a long-duration crew on the space station.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Up next, how some people are using eating as a coping mechanism during quarantine. We break it down.
So welcome, Professor Jessica Lehman. Jessica, let's break it down. I mean, we've all heard about the freshman 15 weight gain, right? But turns out in COVID-19, there's kind of a COVID-15 of weight gain that's going on. I mean, we have reports of 5, 10, up to 30 pounds people are putting on during this pandemic. And it turns out about 1 in 4 of us are experiencing high levels of stress and anxiety. Jessica, what's happening right now?
So I think we're experiencing a whole collective state of stress, and I'm surprised it's not more than 1 in 4. I feel like everybody these days is definitely going through a lot of more, stress, perceived stress. We're taking on the stress of people around us, and there's just a lot of uncertainty with everything going on in the world right now. As for weight gain, there actually is evidence that in a study this year by Grand Canyon University, 22% of people surveyed, this was on a Facebook survey, and 173 people answered, but 22% reported gaining, between 5 and 10 pounds. So it's definitely a real thing out there. And really, I think that instead of focusing on the weight gain, we need to focus on the factors that are leading to the weight gain and look at how we're dealing with stress. And so that's my main concern, actually, as a registered dietitian, is making sure that we're really continuing to use food to nourish ourselves, but also to, not over-rely on food when we're not hungry and we don't need to eat and drink.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting how you talk about sort of why are we engaging in these behaviors, right? And it almost seems like a bit of a self-medicating kind of process. I mean, I can tell you between my friends and I, we're talking about this all the time, right? I mean, there's so many stressors happening right now. We're in the midst of this pandemic. People are very afraid of contracting the virus. They're afraid of how they keep their loved ones safe. Many people have lost loved ones, right? Yeah. And then beyond that, lots of unemployment, financial insecurity, lots of kind of, racial justice conversations that have been going on. So just this perfect storm of stress and, and also a lot of us working from home and it's isolating. I mean, I think a lot of us can relate to that. And as moms, the remote schooling as well. So we're running sort of to that fridge often to help us out. And, but, can we speak a little bit about how healthcare providers and professionals should be messaging eating in this time and really sort of the contributing stressors and healthy habits at this time?
Well, so first of all, I think that we have to look at kind of the big picture and remember wellness and handling stress. It all starts with, kind of having a plan, not just nutrition, but also how are we sleeping? Are we allowing time for movement? Are we focusing on maintaining some social connections? Are we focusing on stress management techniques that we know work for ourselves? So nutrition does fit into that. but there's so many other factors that we should look at also. And, and food tastes good. It's totally normal for everybody, even when we're, not going through a pandemic. It's just normal. We love food, we enjoy food, or we should enjoy food. We should eat what we enjoy, and we should be, eating regularly every few hours, eating well-balanced meals and snacks. Now, when we've been at home more and we have more access to food in a lot of cases, and maybe we have less structure around our eating, that's really where we can look into, hey, well, how can we provide more structure and focus on maybe more balance, more variety, making sure that we are fueling ourselves in a healthy way and that we're enjoying our food. These are all normal, wonderful things. So I don't want to say that it's that we shouldn't be enjoying our food, or that it's not normal to every once in a while turn to food for comfort, because we're human beings and this is what we do. And we need to normalize admitting that, hey, we're not okay right now. I think that we have to normalize reaching out for help and normalize that there are other things that we need to do other than like reaching for the cookies or the ice cream, because no one is reaching for carrot sticks when they are feeling sad or stressed or upset.
No, we're not. No, we're not. And I appreciate that comment. It's okay to not be okay right now. And many of us are feeling that way. And probably the lack of structure and kind of all the stresses and isolation, as you just mentioned, is really contributing to, okay, I'm going to go and kind of try to make myself feel better with something that's yummy, but it turns out this isn't really kind of the healthiest behavior. Well, look, this pandemic is not ending anytime soon, right?
Yeah.
It is not. And so what do you suggest for kind of healthier behaviors, not just around eating, but around coping mechanisms as we move forward and have to figure this out together?
Yeah, so long term, it seems like we're in a marathon. This is not a sprint. And, this is our time right now to really seek out help if we need it. And I really just want to say that we need to normalize the act of seeking out help, seeking out professional help. This is a wonderful time to acknowledge, we're all vulnerable. We're all going through some circumstances that are really very different from, prior to the pandemic. And if we had maybe been thinking about reaching out for professional help, now is certainly a great time to do it. And, we need to focus on our need for social connection in socially distanced and safe ways. We know we can wear our masks and stay out of crowds and take advantage of very small, maybe outdoor one-on-one meetings with a friend that are distanced. We can do these things, and we can really try to make ourselves kind of make a plan to stay well and to put some structure around the behaviors that do make us feel, nourished and comforted. Maybe it's a cup of tea. Maybe it's, Zooming with a friend, your best friend 3 states away who you normally wouldn't get to see anyway. But, really reaching out and making those connections and programming them in, just like you would your sleep, your hopefully daily movement, whether it's going for a walk or doing some yoga, your 5-minute dance party with your kids, just something that gets you feeling excited about life and happy, and just is kind of an expression of gratitude throughout the day for the wellness that we do have.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I really appreciate the way that you reframed this conversation. So we're not really focused on the weight gain and being mad at ourselves, but really, acknowledging that we are all going through it right now. And we need to figure out sort of more healthy, positive, inclusive behaviors for moving forward. Thank you so much for joining us and breaking it down today.
Thank you for having me, Swapna. And yes, we're all in this together.
This hour of local news is made possible by contributions from the Friends of PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you. If you have comments about Arizona PBS News, please contact us at one of the addresses on your screen. Thank you. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Yupa's Thai Kitchen in Tempe features fresh, authentic Thai cuisine and vegetarian Thai dishes served in a homeland-style decor atmosphere. Open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. Information at 480-839-0576.
Deanne Griebel, now with Moores & Cabot Investments, serving investors since 1890, proudly supports quality programming on 8 Arizona PBS. 480-725-9602.
Utilities don't like competition. They own your electricity. It's theirs.
This is a big threat.